category where you process your raw material to get a desired component. So generally the manufacturing process are classified into three major category. It could be a formative process, subractive process, or additive process. If you look into this diagram, let us assume that I need to fabricate a component of this shape. So this is a shape I required finally. To manufacture this or to achieve this shape, I can follow different strategy. In this slide, three strategies are given based on formative, subractive, and additive. If you go by formative process, whatever the shape you required, the negative shape of the component has to be prepared as a mold or a die. So inside that die, you pour a material, sinter it or solidify it, then you eject a component. So some of the example for formative process are forging, forming, and powder metallurgy. All this process require a die or cavity, which is a negative shape of your final design. Subractive process, you measure the maximum x, y, z axis of a final component, and that maximum volume you have to take as a billet or raw material, and using a tool you remove a material as per the shape, you get a final component. Drilling, milling, turning, shaping, or combination of all this can be used, which comes under the classification of subractive process. Adding process, whatever the shape you require, take multiple plate or multiple coating layer by layer to achieve the desired component. So coating, welding are example for additive process. The process which we are going to discuss today, additive manufacturing or layer based manufacturing, also comes under the category of additive process. But if you look into all the three process, you require a mold. In first case, you require a mold, which is a tool for formative process. In second case, you require a tool inserts for your formative process. In third case, you require a jigs and fixtures. So if you change a design, for example, in first case, if I change a minor feature or minor addition in my design, I have to rework on the mold itself. If I change some design in the machining process, again I have to select appropriate tool insert, and for that particular tool insert I have to optimize my process parameter. Similarly, in adding process also, you have to select a suitable jigs and fixture. So in all the three process, though the principle is different, all three process require one common component called tool. The tool could be a mold or tool or fixture. Now, because of this tooling, if there is any change in design, you have to work again from the tool, which will delay your production time or which will delay your product development activity. So that is the reason engineers thought of some activity where I can create a design without a use of tool. Tooling in the sense it could be a jigs and fixture or tool insert or a mold. So if there is any change in my product design, immediately my manufacturing process should be able to respond. So in that way, additive manufacturing animation, which I have shown here, which take a raw, input as a CAD data. So whatever the design you required, create a CAD data, and that CAD data is sliced or decoded into 2D layer, and this 2D layer is deposited layer by layer to get a three-dimensional component. Instead of 3D, if I want to print 4D, I will be changing only my CAD model, and there is no issue in terms of mold, insert, and jigs and fixtures. So this is very critical advantage of additive manufacturing over other manufacturing. And because of this advantage, you can explore a lot of new product development in additive manufacturing process. So this is what this is the main reason why in certain industrial application, additive manufacturing has a advantage over conventional manufacturing. So this we all should understand before we proceed for the smart material processing. There is a elimination of tool. The process is rapid in response to your change in design. These are all two critical importance of additive manufacturing process. Again, if you look into the wastage, the conventional manufacturing process will have a lot of wastage because you take a bulk material and you are wasting it. You are going to remove some material as per the design, so that removed material is a scrap. In additive process, you take a powder or filament, and wherever you require a material, you deposit to get a final component. So in terms of wastage, in terms of sustainability, in terms of smart manufacturing, in all aspect, additive manufacturing has an advantage edge over conventional manufacturing process. In terms of strength, if you manufacture the same component by subtractive route, that is by machining, as well as by additive route, if I apply a load in perpendicular direction, if I apply a load in perpendicular direction, obviously the subtractive process will have good strength, because in additive process it is layer by layer added material. So this will have poor strength compared to subtractive process. So that is one disadvantage. But you can do some thermomechanical treatment. That is, after printing, you heat treat it and apply with the isostatic condition or with some atmospheric condition, which will enhance the strength of the component. So strength wise it has a limitation, but research work are there to improve the strength of additive manufactured component. So with this we conclude the introduction part, from which we all could able to understand the importance of additive manufacturing over traditional manufacturing and what uniqueness you have in additive manufacturing. Again, if you look into the classification of additive manufacturing, there are different way in which you can add a material. For example, if you look into this picture, because this is very critical for our subsequent discussion. So the duck is going to get printed. So the raw material is filament. Filament is deposited layer by layer, and you have a heating coil which will heat a filament, and this heated temperature will help you to adhere the current layer with the previous layer, and this will be repeated layer by layer to get a 3D component. Another process, it is also an additive manufacturing process. You'll have a ejector mechanism. On the top of the ejector mechanism, you'll have a deformable diaphragm. You apply a pressure, so the liquid will come out of this injection, and it will get deposited, and this will be repeated layer by layer to get a 3D component. Another process, you will have a tank. Entire tank will be filled with some resin material, and the table will be on the top initially. Then you dip the table layer by layer, and each layer will be cured by using UV light. So this resin is a UV sensitive resin. If it get contact with UV light, it will get cured. So this will be controlled layer by layer to get a 3D component. Another process, you have a powder, spread a powder layer by layer and join the powder using a laser as per the contour. Another process, you spread a powder similar to the previous process, but instead of laser, you use a binder or glue to join a powder particle. There is another process similar to the previous one, like UV resin and UV light. Here also you have a nozzle. Nozzle have two compartment. One compartment will eject a UV resin. Another compartment will have a UV light. So as per your CAD requirement, the first compartment will eject a material. The second compartment will cure a material. Same like this process, but here the material is the tank. Source is from the top. In this case, the material as well as source both are from top. So if you look into this image, you can see there are different way in which you can add a material layer by layer. Right, same component, and all these component are manufactured through additive manufacturing process, but the raw material and source of energy used to join a raw material is different. So that is a major difference among this process. But uniqueness is all this process are adding process. All this process comes under additive manufacturing. So this process are commercially named as FDM process. This is FDM. We will be discussing the use of FDM in smart materials. This is direct printing or direct writing. DP they used to say, direct printing or direct writing. This is SLA or SL, stereolithography, resin and UV curing. SLS, selective laser sintering, three-dimensional printing. This particular process is called three-dimensional printing, where you have a binder to join the powder particle. And this process is a polyjet 3D printing. So we will see how additive manufacturing, that is like DP or FDM or SL or polyjet, how it is used in smart material manufacturing process. Now, to proceed further with respect to smart material, let me give one unique example of use of additive manufacturing for smart material, right? So we all know about cellular structure. The cellular structure, we all know the purpose of cellular structure is to reduce the weight. Forget about the other image. let us concentrate only on this image, right? So we all know about cellular structure.